Seja bem-vindo à série de vídeos sobre navegação. Essa matéria é um pouquinho básica, assim, para quem já tem algum conhecimento prévio de estudo de provas de cal, tudo mais, mas é sempre um revisar, sempre vai ter um termo ou outro que vai ser introduzido novo. É até uma matéria muito ligada ao voo visual, mas sempre acrescenta, né? Eu tentei fazer esses vídeos mais curtinhos possíveis e vamos aos estudos. Vamos lá. English Mode. Fundamentals of Navigation. Basic principles. The basic principles of air navigation apply to all aircraft, from the simplest trainers to the most sophisticated passenger jets, from the small aircraft to the gigantic aircraft. You must do the in following order. That's very basic. You gotta know this. Aviate, navigate, communicate. All right, it's very basic. You gotta have that in mind. It's like a second skin. Navigating an airplane, unlike a car or a ship, is a three-dimensional process. You must think of altitude as well as directions and time. Types of navigation. You have the VFR. It happens during daytime. Operating is map reading, which is a visual contact navigation. It involves matching ground features with features shown on a navigation chart and thus determining at any particular time the actual position of the airplane. You gotta know where you are all times. This position we call fix, very close to Portuguese, can then be compared with the intended path of the airplane over the ground, which we call the track. To support visual navigation procedures, we can dead reckoning, the DR, to deduce position. Dead reckoning is when you're lost, you're reading from the ground to the map. So here the meaning of feature. You pause if you want to know that. Being prepared. Being properly prepared is essential for successful navigation. Before starting any cross-country flight, you must pay particular attention to items such as the following: the serviceability and accuracy of your watch or aircraft clock, since time is vital to accurate navigation. All right. The content of your nav bag, your navigation bag, pencil, flight computer, protector, and scale, suitable aeronautical charts, and relevant flight information publications. Nowadays, I even would say iPad or a tablet. In preparation of charts, all right. So you put them on the specific direction you're going to, protector and scale. All right. Being prepared, the planned route, the terrain en route, the type of airspace en route, suitability of the destination and any alternate airdrome. Forecast weather en route and at the destination and alternate aerodromes, plus any reports of actual weather that might be available. All right, you gotta know the weather on your route, on your path. Calculation of heading and ground speed. All right. Yes, where you're heading. I'm not gonna say proa because I'm not gonna say that. Calculation of fuel consumption and minimal fuel required. All right. Yes, you get the minimum fuel required, or you're gonna have a fuel starvation situation. Probably you're gonna have to ditch your craft or make an emergency landing. Okay, let's keep going. Position on the Earth. By referencing to imaginary lines, form the latitude and longitude graticule, or grid on the surface of the earth. Latitude of a place, it is angular distance in degrees from the equator measured at the center of the earth, on the middle of the earth, and designated either north or south. Just a comment, last night I was talking to a friend who lives in Munich in Germany. So I said, oh, do you know your latitudes? And he said, no, he's a doctor. He said, like, I looked it up, it was 48 degrees north, and like I'm at Jersey for a recording right now, and 21.40. So yeah, it's different. That's why over there it's winter. It's very cold here. It's not that cold when you're in winter time. Longitude is specified by the angular difference in degree east and west from the meridian of longitude that passes through the Royal Observatory situated in Greenwich, London, or called prime meridian. That's very basic, but well, gotta talk about even the basics. Position on Earth's surface. The application shorthand symbols for the expression of arc units are degree of symbol, symbol of degrees, symbol for minute, and the symbol for the seconds. So I took the Taipei airport coordinates. It's 25 degrees north, 4 minutes, 47.20 seconds. And the latitude is 121 degrees, 40 minutes, and 0.36 seconds east. All right. Directions. Directions is the angular position of one point to another without a reference to the distance between them. All right, it's just where you're going. Direction. Direction can be measured by reference to the cardinal points, the four main directions: north, south, east, and west. The simplest way to measure directions is to consider a circle laid flat, and divide into 306 degrees. The number clockwise from 0, which means north, 000, which means north. It is usual to refer to a direction as a three-figure group to prevent any misunderstanding. Perfect. Two direction, pretty much like Portuguese. When we measure direction by reference to the local meridian, we are using the north geographic pole or true north as the reference. The direction is the basis for measuring angles on charts. Magnetic direction, that's what we really use when you're flying. The Earth acts as a huge magnet, gigantic magnet, and its lines of magnetic force are sufficiently strong to influence the direction of a freely magnetic needle. All right, needle. Usually you can call needle as well for vaccines, but well, variation is the angular difference between the direction of the true north and the magnetic north. So anytime you're gonna fly, you gotta apply the variation. When you look to the map, the true north, you protect where you wanna go, and you apply the variation so you can use your magnetic compass. All right. If the variation is east, the magnetic direction will be less than the true direction. If the variation is west, the reverse will apply. So you have the mnemonic: variation east, magnetic least; variation west, magnetic best. All right. Relative bearing. It is sometimes useful to define the direction of an object from an airplane in the terms of the object's direction relative to the nose or heading of the airplane. Alright, so what is relative bearing? Look at this picture here. This ship, we have another ship to the left of it. So how would you say the relative bearing to this ship you see on our head, like a kind of in front of us? So you could say that it is 340 degrees. If you're like so it's 30 degrees to the left, the relative bearing. So, or you can even say, like people like to say, watch like 11 o'clock. Yeah, you have another ship in your 11 o'clock right here. But as you can see on the hand of the fella here, yeah, I would say relative bearing is 340 degrees. So it's 30 degrees to the east. So it's your relative bearing. Let's talk about speed. Airspeed and ground speed. Because of the effects of wind, the speed of an airplane can be expressed in two ways. It is measured in relation to the ground. It is called ground speed. If it is moving, it's called airspeed. Well, it's fine, very, very simple. You have the airspeeds on aviation. Indicator airspeed. Clearly, the airspeed indicator, the ASI, does not show the actual airspeed, but the value influenced both by speed and air density. We call this value indicator airspeed. Calibrated airspeed, not very popular, but let's go. Indicator airspeed corrected to the instrument error, poor design or construction, and position error, error inherent in the position of the static vent. But overall, a very small error, so that's not very used, the calibrated. True airspeed, yeah, that's very used, very popular. Used to navigation purposes. It is corrected for the actual density. Indicator airspeed and true airspeed are only equal at main sea level, only on the shore, if you're flying near the water, I would say. True airspeed is corrected using pressure and temperature. So you do see this scale on your airspeed indicator, so that's why you have this little white bar here showing the true airspeed on the bottom of some airspeed indicator, usually the most, but this is a very well developed one. This one in the picture here. Let's talk about drift. Is the angular difference between the heading steered by the pilot and the track of the aircraft over the ground. So yes, drift is measured from the heading to the track and is specified in degrees left or right of the heading. Well, you even drift, you can say like if you have an ICAO test, say for example you're going here for your approach path, where you're being blown off by the wind. What do you say? You're drifting off the runway. Alô, edição. You're drifting off the runway. All right, let's keep going. Altimetry, vertical navigation. So for terrain clearance, what is a terrain clearance? What is the objective? To ensure that the airplane will not collide with the terrain or fixed obstacles on the ground. Traffic separation, to ensure that we have safe vertical separation from other airplanes. So we have traffic separation and terrain clearance. All right, you can even use that on the radio communication all the time. Traffic separation even more. to allow us to utilize the performance and capabilities of our airplane to the full. Vertical measure. Altitude is the vertical distance of a level, a point or an object considered as a point, measured from the sea level, main sea level. Height is the vertical distance of a level, a point or object, or an object, considered as a point, measured from a specific datum. Datum's reference. Flight level, we use it even in Portuguese, is a surface of constant atmospheric pressure that's related to specified pressure datum, 1013.2 hectopascals, and is separated from other such surfaces by specified pressure intervals. Alright, that's the end of the class. I was a little bit too big for that. I wanted to make it shorter. Alright, don't forget to subscribe on this marvelous YouTube channel and follow me over there Instagram. Galera, até a próxima. Espero que tenham gostado dessa aula de navegação. Óbvio que um pouco básica, ideal para quem está começando no cálculo, começando na aviação. Os pilotos antigos, espero que peguem alguma terminologia, algo que tinha uma dúvida, e cessem essa dúvida antiga. Até mais. Tchau, tchau.